These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan.
It's been a good season.
They cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried.
Charles Barkley just dropped a bombshell on the WNBA, calling for Sheryl Swoopes to be fired immediately to protect Caitlin Clark. What's really going on behind the scenes that's got Barkley so heated? It's a major clash between the league's old guard and its rising stars.
You got people in a room.
Yeah.
If you got a bunch of dudes in a room and says, let's fuck up the WNBA, we couldn't have came up a master plan with these women.
Can you believe how intense this is getting? He's clearly taking shots at Sheryl Swoopes.
Sheryl is incredible. What she did in college for women's basketball, what she's doing in the WNBA.
She turned the Fever, were 1-8. They have a winning record now.
But the number of attention, eyeballs she's brought to college and the pros, and for these women to have this petty jealousness.
I completely agree. The WNBA is at a major crossroads, and they need to move fast. On one side, you've got legends like Swoopes who helped build the league, and on the other, rising stars like Clark bringing in new energy and fans. But here's the twist. If the WNBA doesn't play this right, they risk losing everything: fans, sponsors, and even the next generation of players. The clock's ticking, and the whole basketball world is watching what the WNBA and Caitlin Clark will do next.
Yourself, damn, what is going on here? And
well, you got accused of that stuff too, with the older players being resentful of the new generation. It's kind of part of the basketball process. Everybody thinks their generation's the best.
No. Anytime we say something about guys, it ain't the old get off my lawn guy.
Yeah.
But the stuff toward her is petty and jealous.
2 weeks later, while the WNBA figures out its next move, Caitlin Clark isn't waiting around. She's rewriting the playbook and leaving jaws on the floor. Remember that 1-18 record? Clark didn't just turn it around, she flipped the entire script. So, what's her secret? And why are some WNBA vets starting to sweat?
And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. And now, when I watch her, 2 things I like. She's playing much faster.
Yeah.
Much faster. She was playing too slow the first half of the season.
I think she was tired. I think she was banged up from the college season.
They didn't even give her the understanding, like, you girls been ready for the WNBA season. Y'all been working out on the no straight. She came straight out of college and had to go right to the WNBA like 2 weeks later.
Let's talk numbers, because Clark's stats are off the charts. She's averaging 25 points per game this season. That's not just impressive, it's Rookie of the Year territory. But here's where it gets wild. She's not just putting up points. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but lots of rookies have hot starts. But Clark's different. She's not just putting up numbers. She's winning. That 1-18 record? Ancient history. Clark has led the Fever on a winning streak that's got the whole league buzzing. And it's not just about the wins, it's how she's doing it.
The Fever, good ball movement on this possession. Low.
The goods here. Apparently, all the accolades that Caitlin Clark is receiving is because she's white, and the jealous players who are attacking her are really the real victims here.
When she's in college, she's not passing to a bunch of great players. Now you can see when she plays, she's playing a lot without the ball. She reminds me a lot of Jason Kidd.
Take that game against the Chicago Sky. Clark didn't just play well, she erupted for a career-high 31 points. Can you imagine being a WNBA vet and watching this rookie drop 31 on you like it's no big deal? That kind of performance shifts perceptions. It's not just about talent anymore. It's about sheer impact.
All this is. This is a phenomenon. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon. And if I said to any of these people who think Caitlin Clark is not the Rookie of the Year, I'd say, who would you want to start your franchise with? Now, I'm not going to put Asia Wilson in there. I'm just saying between these two. Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball.
And speaking of impact, let's discuss what Clark's doing for the WNBA. She's not just winning games, she's driving ticket sales and boosting TV ratings. Suddenly, women's basketball is the talk of the town. Even Charles Barkley has taken notice, remarking that the league couldn't have messed up the Caitlin Clark situation worse if they tried. What she's doing in the WNBA is nothing short incredible.
She has 7 straight with 20 or more. That is a franchise record. Clark regularly seeing 2 there in the backcourt, and that is Indiana's 10th turnover here. Clark being watched by Nurse. Clark on the drive. Clark hangs and banks it home.
But here's where it gets complicated. Not everyone is thrilled about Clark's success. Some WNBA veterans are feeling the heat, watching this rookie come in and transform the game. It's making them nervous because Clark isn't just talented, she's adaptable. Barkley highlighted that her ability to play faster and trust her teammates is crucial to her success. She's not just skilled, she's incredibly smart. So, what does all this mean for the WNBA? It's straightforward. Clark is revolutionizing the game both on and off the court. She's attracting new fans, elevating the level of play, and pushing everyone to raise their game. But with such change comes resistance, and that's where the drama begins. The drama's heating up, and it's not just on the court. Remember Sheryl Swoopes, the WNBA icon? She's stirring the pot, but not for her gameplay. What did she say about Caitlin Clark that got Charles Barkley so fired up?
These ladies, who I love and respect their game, they couldn't have fucked this thing up any worse. Because we have talked, and talking about Aja Will's the best woman player in the world right now. She's incredible. Connecticut Sun's having a great year. The Minnesota Lynx is having a great year. But there's been so much negativity, and a lot of it is just petty jealousness.
Swoopes didn't pull any punches when she spoke about Clark. She accused the rookie of taking too many shots and even questioned her legitimacy as a young star. Can you believe it? A legend of the game calling out the new face of the WNBA. Swoopes went as far as saying Clark wasn't legitimate because she's in her 5th year of play. That's a pretty harsh take on someone who's drawing so much attention to the league.
And I love the way and I'll tell you what really good happened to her, not making the Olympic team.
Totally agree. Well, it also gave her a break.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
Giving her that time off has given her a chance to recharge her batteries. So it ended up, she probably did deserve to make the Olympic team on merit, but her getting that time off probably was the best thing happened to her.
Well, the other thing that happened, her teammates, you could see like a little osmosis. You watch that team now and they're pretty unselfish to watch. Like they're making extra passes, and it's the kind of stuff that happens when you're playing with a great player.
Because that's the way it should be. But here's where it gets wild. Charles Barkley, yes, the NBA legend himself, has stepped in. He's not just disagreeing with Swoopes, he's calling for her to be removed from broadcasts. Barkley believes Swoopes' criticism is harming both her own reputation and the future of the league. He said you can't let this kind of jealousy undermine a player like Clark, who's bringing fresh attention to the WNBA.
Sheryl Swoopes, take notes. You ain't playing no more. But you're a Hall of Famer, and a champion, and a basketball savant. You know good and damn well you had no business talking about the Indiana Fever without mentioning Caitlin Clark. Come on, Sheryl Swoopes. Come on.
Now you might be wondering, is this just sour grapes? Well, the WNBA and Nancy Lieberman seem to think Barkley has a point. They decided to pull Swoopes from the broadcast for the Fever's game against the Dallas Wings. Why the concern about her bias against Clark? It's a big deal when you consider it. The league is essentially saying they don't trust one of their legends to be fair when discussing their new star.
It's here. Apparently, all the accolades that Caitlin Clark is receiving is because she's white, and the jealous players who are attacking her are really the real victims here.
Let's break this down further. Why would Swoopes, a 3-time WNBA MVP, feel the need to take aim at Clark? Barkley thinks it's all about jealousy. He's labeled it as petty jealousy toward Clark's success and the buzz she's creating around the WNBA. Swoopes seems to be feeling threatened by this rookie's instant impact.
But if you're going to break a record, this isn't just for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record,
just so you know, this is 100% about Caitlin.
If it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record? I don't know.
You think exactly how
I don't think so, but yeah, that'll go in the record books as Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be.
Where it gets really interesting is the WNBA's decision to replace Swoopes with Ron Thorne and Nancy Lieberman for the broadcast. This move sends a clear message. They're not just shielding Clark, they're safeguarding the future of the league. Consider this. If you're a young player watching this unfold, what message does it send if the league allows its legends to trash talk the new generation?
It's kind of settled down. Now, see, the angry OGs of the WNBA have nowhere to turn. Sports don't want to see other women in sports succeed. And I started thinking about what my wife said, and she gave me examples, and boy, was she right. Sheryl Swoopes is still hanging on. Still hanging on. I mean, the nasty one is still there. Why do I call her the nasty one? Well, because she was so nasty, according to everybody that I know, and I know a lot of people in the Chicago area, when she was coaching at Loyola. And she got fired for being nasty.
So now the WNBA is in a tough spot. They need to balance honoring their legends while supporting their emerging stars. It's not just about Swoopes and Clark anymore. It's about the future of women's basketball. How they handled this situation could set the tone for years to come.
The treadmill, and I called her as a friend, and I said, you know, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion. And, you know, you might like Boston, I might like the Yankees. You know, it's okay to have difference of opinions. Well, she got upset with me on the phone, and I was like, Sheryl, you know, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship, it pretty much is not happening at this point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four. Right. She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Sheryl Swoopes in my life. I'd rather have her in it.
Charles isn't just throwing shade. He's got a game plan for the NBA's future. And it's not what you'd expect from an NBA legend. But here's the kicker. It might be exactly what women's basketball needs right now.
What I do know didn't happen was a phone call from her. Nancy Lieberman decided she was going to be upset.
One thing about women, they will sever a relationship quick behind anything, behind any disagreement. Now, me and you, we can agree to disagree.
And we're going to do the show
tomorrow. And we're going to be straight. But the fact that the relationship was severed because there was a difference in opinion.
So, what's Barkley's big idea? It's all about embracing the new wave of talent. He's saying the WNBA needs to fully support players like Caitlin Clark because these rising stars are injecting fresh energy and attracting new fans to the game.
It has to be Sheryl Swoopes saying something about Caitlin Clark that's not factual.
Ocho.
And not wanting to take accountability as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Huh? And I don't get. See, this is what I'm having a hard time with.
Think about it. Clark isn't just posting impressive numbers. She's transforming the entire vibe of the league. Tickets are selling out, TV ratings are soaring, and suddenly, everyone's talking about women's basketball.
Clark gravy train. The league removed Grumpy from the broadcast of Sunday's Indiana-Dallas game. Swoopes is so filled with jealousy, she can't be trusted to call Clark's games in a fair manner. Nancy Lieberman replaced Swoopes and immediately called BS on the contrived Clark-Reese rookie battle. Because she can't be trusted to call Caitlin Clark games correctly or fairly, they basically pulled her off the game for racism. You're too much of a bigot to call Caitlin Clark games. We're pulling you off the game. What is this woman doing?
It's about more than just putting new faces on posters. Barkley suggests the league needs to overhaul its entire strategy, rethinking everything from game broadcast to player marketing.
Is growing. And all these women, I'm glad that some of the women, I wish that a lot of the women could have been in it and benefited from it because they don't make nearly, I mean, I think the highest salary you can make is $250,000. Well, those women, the Sheryl Swoopes and the Candace Parkers, they were never, I don't think they were ever in line to make that kind of money.
Right.
And it's only going up from here.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girl.
But here's where it gets really intriguing. Barkley isn't just focused on short-term gains. He's thinking long-term.
I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen. What she's accomplished, give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes.
By backing players like Clark, He believes the WNBA can build a stronger foundation for the future.
The team's not very good.
Right.
So, but we're not, what's bad, instead of talking about all the good things happening for the WNBA, we're talking about negativity. And all publicity, that used to be that old saying, all publicity is good publicity. No, it's not. Not when you're a niche sport.
And Fever got her pick because they were the worst team. And so obviously
and listen, 2 years in a row.
Right.
So they had the number one pick last year, and they were so bad they got it again. So and like I say, she was gonna go through some growing pains, but like I say, it's just a lot of petty jealousy out there, and it's really unfortunate. It's taken away from the women's game because no matter what sport, if you're talking more about something other than the sport, because they got some great players in the WNBA. The Aces, they got Asia Wilson's probably the best female player in the world. She's trying to get a three-peat. We haven't even mentioned her at all. I saw
We're talking about inspiring the next generation of players, attracting more sponsors, and possibly even expanding the league.